In this video, we're going to show how to use Shop-Ware from setting an appointment to completing the work order. Appointments work a little bit differently in Shop-Ware. Every appointment is actually an estimate. This helps us prepare for what's coming in. It streamlines the drop-off process, shows customers we've already started doing work for them, and helps the production manager make sure we have the necessary stock items on hand 2 to 3 days in advance. Let's start by booking a vehicle in for service. Go to the calendar icon on the left, which is called Estimates. Pick the day and time slot you want to book for and double click. Next, click on New Estimate. Search for the customer. Select the vehicle they're bringing in. All right, now we're ready to build this estimate for this upcoming service. Every vehicle and every estimate should start with a CVI inspection. So we'll click plus service at the bottom, type CVI in the search bar. Notice we're under CAN jobs. And this vehicle, we're going to do a complete vehicle inspection since it's coming in with a specific complaint. Plus service, it's on the ticket now. Now this customer has a concern about a coolant leak, so I've already pre-authorized a cooling system pressure test. So go back, search for that, add that service. Now, every labor line allows you the ability to add a comment underneath. So on this one, I'm going to add a comment about what the customer is complaining about. All right, now we have this estimate built and ready for the customer to come on in, so we can go ahead and close on out. When the customer comes in for service, all we have to do is find their appointment, double click on it, and click on the work order. Now I'm going to discuss with the customer what to expect as far as a promise time. Let's assign a promise time. I think we should have this looked at today by noon. Next, review the work order to make sure everything is correct with the customer's complaints. There's no additional services or anything else that they want added on. Once everything looks good, go ahead and hit Start Job. Have the customer pick their preferred contact method. In this event, it's going to be text. Read our disclaimer, sign, and click Start Job. When you click Start Job, it's going to do two things. It's going to send a copy of this signed authorized work order right to the customer's email, and it's also going to send this work order right to AutoVitals for your dispatcher. All right, work is authorized, estimate sent to customer, and the work order is now in queue in AutoVitals for the shop foreman to dispatch. We'll cover more detailed usage of AutoVitals and the workflow steps in a later video, but for now, the technician has already performed their inspection, made their notes, and made their recommendations. Also, now all the inspection has been edited and auto-built onto the work order. So let's open the work order and see what that looks like after the auto-build. So this is going to function a little bit differently than Protractor, as opposed to all of the recommended services from the tech coming on down here and populating. They go up here as current recommendations. So what we're going to do, this BG coolant flush, obviously nothing needed to be done there because that is a CAN job prepackaged menu item. But radiator and water pump, these are just going to be considered placeholders. So we're going to go ahead and now build in these jobs using the plus service and add them manually. The reason for this is over time, we're going to build our database of past services. Right now, this is fairly useless information because this is all stuff imported from Protractor. However, this will be populated with jobs built in Shop-Ware. We'll be able to review what was done that time and plus service, add it right onto the ticket because we've already estimated it once in the past. After that, we just need to verify parts availability and any price changes, and we're done. So for now, we're going to use this, search here, look at past services, see if there's anything appropriate. Again, we're only going to use data after 2021, meaning that was an estimate built in Shop-Ware. If it's not available, we'll go right to estimator, and now we're going to go ahead and estimate this right out of the catalog. So this is my labor guide. Radiator R&R, 2.6 hours. Now, there's a couple options here. One, you can click radiator. So this is labor time. These are all parts. You can click that, and it's going to look at the recently purchased parts that may fit this vehicle right out of our catalogs. Now, this is a cool feature, but say there's nothing available there. Let's uncheck that. We're just going to hit plus service. Now, when we go to that service, let's get into edit mode. We're going to add our parts. Click here, go to ecom. Now, this is going to open Parts Tech. Well, they're calling it the ecom catalog now. So we're going to search right here for radiator. Cool function is you set the order of your vendors that you like. Now, say FMP had nothing in stock. It's not even going to populate that. It's going to, by default, start displaying O'Reilly's right off the bat, and so on and so forth down the line. This will also be integrated with WorldPack, so Speed Dial will kick open as well as this window fully populated with your VIN and all that as well. So let's look in here. They don't have anything. They have one at the Denver warehouse. So I'm going to go ahead and use this one. Add to cart. Submit quote. Parts Tech tab closes. Now that part is on the work order. If you want to manually change the price, you can. If not, you can also click right on the part name itself. You can edit name, part number, description. There's your margin, everything. All right, that job's good to go. Next, we're going to add our water pump. So we're going to go plus service again, water pump. That's our generic can job. We don't want to use that because there's no parts and labor. Past services, not viable at this time because, again, any of these services that populate are not estimates from Shop-Ware. These are all out of Protractor. That data comes across goofy, so we'll go right to estimator, water pump. All right, water pump assembly, 2.7 hours. We're good to go there. Water pump and gasket, again, this is my parts list, so I can click right there. Let's see if I scroll down. FVP water pumps. Aisin water pump from Napa. Those are all my options if I want to do the fast add right here. I want to go back to the catalog one more time just to make sure it's in stock. Get this all right in one move. Add parts. Ecom. Water pump. Start with factory motor parts. I prefer an OE water pump. So I'm going to go right here, and they have an Aisin in stock in Thornton. Add to cart. Submit quote. All right, that's on there. I want to check my margins again. All right, we're at 56%. Not bad. That's all calculated by the optimizer matrix. We're going to tweak that to get us a little bit better, but right now it is set for a target of 60% on parts. All right, now that we have these estimated, we can go ahead and delete these placeholders. I'm going to go check my margins by View Financials. All right, my whole ticket overall is at 61%, not too bad. That looks good enough to me. I'm ready to pitch this. So, to send off to the customer for authorization, let them review everything, what we want to do is make all of these back into a recommendation. Hit this publish button because these are reviewed and ready to publish and send to the customer. Actually, I messed that up. Cooling system pressure test was authorized, approved in person, plus add back to the ticket. All right, so now the work order is back to what they originally authorized, inspection, cooling system pressure test, and we are ready to send this to the customer. So what we're going to do next is click the share button. Remember, we have these two authorized items, and then we're going to pitch these three gray recommendations that are pending approval. Coolant pressure test, or I'm sorry, coolant flush, water pump replacement, radiator replacement. So we're going to hit share with customer, text an invitation. If we want to change the note here, we can. We're going to send this off to the customer. All right, this is sent to the customer, so we can go ahead and close out of here. Now I went in on my phone and clicked the link that it was sent to me and went ahead and authorized all of those services. Let's open the ticket back up. Now you can see approved by Stephen, approved by Stephen, approved by Stephen. So now all 3 approved services we add. Now these are all on the work order. We've got our grand total. We've got everything else. Now I remembered, ooh, this is a Guest for Life customer. So what we're going to do with this coolant flush, they get a discount on that. So I'm going to add a part. The way GFL discounts work in this system, they are parts. They're items in inventory that we add on to the ticket that apply the discount. So we're going to do cooling system benefit. There we go, $10 off. The nice thing about this is, one, it comes off parts, which actually saves the customer a little bit more because it reduces tax. Additionally, we can run reports and source how many monthly, weekly, whatever we want, yearly, quarterly, of each coupon we use. Now we got everything ready to go. Now we need to get parts coming. So we're going to click the parts button. So cooling system service, I screwed up. That needs to be, I need to add a quantity on hand in the system. Let me change that real quick. So open our parts catalog. GFL cooling system benefit, and we're going to do quantity, adjust inventory. Now, this works a little bit differently adjusting inventory than it does in Protractor. In Protractor, I believe you're putting the current amount on hand. With this, I am adding. So I have 1,000 on hand. That's what I want to put in stock. Currently on hand, I have 0. So what I'm doing is I'm adding 1,000 to this 0. If I had 1,000 on hand and this was 100, I would make this 900. That's what I'm adding or subtracting. So just remember that we're adding the difference, plus or minus, that we need to add to adjust on hand. All right, now I have 1,000 of those on hand, 99 on hand, 1 in progress. So let's go back to my work order. Let's go back to that parts button. All right, now you can see in progress, those are the parts I have on hand. I've got that cooling system benefit on hand. That's a stock item because it's considered a part. I've got my coolant on hand. I've got my BG coolant flush kit on hand, 5068. So all of those don't need to be ordered. When I go up here, obviously I don't have the water pump and radiator in stock. So you just go to order, click direct order. I'm not going to do that because this is live. It will order parts from factory. I don't need to call them and tell them to cancel. But when you hit direct order, it takes just a few seconds. It confirms it, and you get a confirmation number kickback. So now this work is ready to go into the shop. We'll move our workflow step over and go ahead and get the tech working on it. All right, the technician is now done with their work. We're gonna go through, verify they marked everything completed in Auto Vitals. Let's mark that complete, complete, matching up to what's on Auto Vitals. Now we're ready to close this ticket. Only difference is you can't close tickets with unreceived parts on it. So what I'm going to do, because again, I don't want to order those from factory, just to show the process, I'm going to go ahead and delete these off. All right, those are the only parts I need to delete because the rest are stock. We can go back to this mode. Now we're ready to close job. So we can do this a couple ways. We can do it at pickup. We take the payment. Here's the payment. It was by credit card. Post the payment. You can change the amount, change the payment type. Or what we can do, and this is going to help techs track their hours, we're just going to close job. Odometer out. Let's just say it was that. We did all these jobs. We're going to go ahead and close the ticket. All right, let's go back and look at our workflow. Now that's not on my screen anymore. because that moved to closed jobs. So we have three statuses of a work order now. We have open, closed, and picked up. What helps with this is we can close a job without receiving payment, not worrying about AR or anything else. So this job is just closed, meaning it will show up on the reports for sales. It'll show up on the reports for flag time for the techs, so they'll be able to check their flag time and track it a lot better. But now when the customer comes to pick up, we open that up. We're going to take our payment. All right, I ran the machine, went through for that amount. I'm going to post payment. Now, this will by default be checked to send a completed repair order copy to the customer. Also, by default, it'll be picked up. If they're just calling to make a payment or a partial payment, we don't have to check that. You can go ahead and post payment. But let's leave that checked. So what we're going to do, we're going to post payment. Vehicle's been picked up. That button's grayed out. It's paid. Now we go back to our work in progress. That job's completely gone and off our radar. That is now a closed and finalized RO. That is the basics of creating a work order from start to finish.